So let's down look. So yes, this is huge. This is a huge verb.
Big. The escape of the matrix.
So let's go down a little further because I just did a little extrapolation to assist.
Yeah, but before we do that, how do you escape? What you desire is what you hunt and chase after. Right? Because that's what that means.
Yeah.
And those who lay in wait for this, because you've hunted and chased that which you've desired, you've been marked by mother and father, and and you become one.
Yeah, you can.
That is what you've been hunting and chasing to become one.
This is a beacon on the top, because that top vav means mark, sign, beacon, ensign. So it's resonate, and it also means love. So the ensign at the top of the mountain.
And exempt from judgment.
Right. So, well, yeah. I mean, you can think of completion. So not, and this is a seal, and it's amazing that this word is here.
Well, yeah, because of this. Duh. Aleph Vav Tav.
Right. So, and it's even highlighted the 844, right? 8444. But because that's even speaking a language right there, right? But in this, we have the mark and the sign of the ensign on the top of the mountain. Why are they there? Because you've walked the way of desire. You've walked and followed, right? Through the desire of your heart, you've gone to the top of the mountain to find the way of one. And in that one is a Vav, Yod, Yod. So now a sovereign one standing with the vision, the power, meaning the directions of mother and father. But nevertheless, it's still one. So the mark is the desired one who has become the mark of desire.
Right.
Because it's a mirror.
Right.
It's mother and father going like, oh, you followed desire. Well, therefore, you've become the mark of desire. Because that's the whole intention.
The strong love. From the beginning to the end.
The Aleph Tav, pierced through and through.
And you've connected the beginning to the end.
To the end, absolutely.
Hence, Ouroboros.
Yes, and we're going to go into that really quick here. But let's just go down a little further. This is kind of more of a...
Do you go back to Hallelujah again at all? Because I just wanted to say this, because I didn't say it earlier. So every single time we say Hallelujah...
Yes. We're really saying what we just defined it as, praise the light bringer who brought the light that we're able to partner with to become light.
The powerful revelation.
Right. So I'd never go out in the street and say, praise Lucifer. I hear you.
But I'm trying to say that almost in a shock factor to shake us loose from these lesser narratives.
Yes.
Because really, people don't realize that's what they're saying.
Please do not...
To shake the lesser off for the greater to actually take hold.
Yes. Please do not go out and say praise Lucifer for the shock value. I don't want that. My heart is like, be kind, be gentle, be nurturing. There are people out there right now that don't have an idea, and we don't need to cause harm. What we need to do is we need to be gentle and kind, and we need to express where they are. Talk to them to see where they are before voicing your voice that really oppresses them through your knowing. That tells me, and this is how I gauge myself, I'm in the wrong spirit.
Right.
And so know where they are, edify and exhort them by lifting them up. And it may be a very small measure to you, but nevertheless, that's what they're needing. That is a good shepherd that knows how to lead from behind. That is what the world needs to see. They don't need to see someone out in front anymore. What they need to see is the gentle hand behind them that has the ability to lift them up.
Exactly. Because the biggest concern of the shepherd is the heart of the individual.
Absolutely.
And so really, the other thing that we've suggested is answering questions once questions are asked.
Right.
So that you're not telling, you're sharing when they are seeking answers.
And yes, we're going back to Hellel. We're going to go back there. So yeah, so go down a little bit further. I put this in just as accumulation. We're going to go into this deeper. So I add this only for clarity and for assistance that, again, this is where we get Anubis. The meek will tread down death as they have transcended as living light.
That's awesome.
And so this is what Anubis would have been. And we're going to go in, not in this file, but after we do this teaching of Lucifer, the light bringer, Hellel, I'm going to break down the vision that I had in full rendering of who the dragon and the beast of Revelation is, and it directly connects to, of course, it has to connect to Anubis, of Pegasus, of Zeus, of all the ancient deities, because it's really saying the same thing. So, but just for a little treat, let's just look at this real quick, because we can break it down in the Hebrew. Anubis, that's not a Vav. There was no Vav in the Hebrew. It would have been a Nu. That Vav would have been really oo. It's where we get the W from, because it's the long oo sound, and where we get the double oo. And so it always has the oo pronunciation on that. So this
right,
would,
and so in English they just brought it to the W.
yeah, it's where we get our
So
W
it's
from.
ooh, a long ooh sound.
Right, ooh, right. But
Yeah.
now, so it's elongated. So
Yeah.
anu, right?
Right.
And so this is now, and this is the first occurrence, is where Moses was very humble. The poor and the afflicted, the humble, the meek. And so this is what this word, this is ooh, right? Anu. And so now we go to the boost, and we can say,
Well, and that makes sense, the humble and meek. Why? Because they've seen the spiritual path and they want to connect to it.
new is a big deal, guys.
Yes, it is.
New, it means you have risen spiritually through mother. And this is, again, we're going to a little bit of Enoch in here too, because this is how Enoch was really able to be not. But we're going to just, for this sake, let's just look at this. And now we have the Anu, and then we're going to, so we have humble house, meekly tread, the knowing has risen as sovereignly built love. Okay? And so this is a completed one, Anub.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Anub. And now we have,
and so they built themselves. They've been building family through a spiritual journey.
Right. And when you even look at the word Anubis, it doesn't, the full name, we've Americanized it, but there's Anu is simply the same word. They use the same thing. Anu or Anu, like there's words in there that really describe Anubis, and we just call it Anubis, and that's what it is. But no, the morphology of the ancient language said he would have been called Anu too. So this is Anub. And so let's look at now, because this is who we are, those that tread over death, let's look at the word Anunnaki. This is just extra, and we're going to move on this. But so this is the spelling. This is how it transfers into English. Anua, right? Anaki, right? But we call it Anunnaki because of what someone has deemed it to be. Is it so? No, because if I said that, is this so? Conjecture. You can do whatever you want to do with what we give you. So I'm only simply showing you opportunity. I can show you Anu Anoki. Anaki. Anu Anoki. Okay?
Well, and I want to just add a point here that part of what we're doing too, because I've had subscribers that have wanted to bring like history lessons in. But we're not looking at history. We're looking at our now.
We're looking at the now.
And we're rewriting our now because the only thing that exists is now.
Right.
So therefore, that which was once past is brought into our future, and we are rewriting our now.
Right.
So those who have given us the lesser narrative, because I always think about this with translations. When translations are done through someone who has ego attached, the ego is automatically going to transfer the translations into something that which they see at that moment in time. So if they're in a lesser beast ego nature, they're going to translate it through that focal point of being in the beast ego nature. So their translations are going to be different than someone who is walking in the possibility of having a Christ consciousness that is able to take it to a higher perspective.
Absolutely.
And so that's why, for me, I will always say, it doesn't matter to me what the past says. It's only about what we're doing in our now.
Right.
To render everything clear, to bring it into the unified field of oneness, which is unconditional love.
Right.
And that's what you're doing right here.
Yeah. So this looks, and all this is potential. So I'm just showing you. So this Anu is we in Hebrew. This, and then look at Anaknu. And so you can start even see the similarities, right?
Yeah.
Anunnaki, Anaknu.
Right.
And it means we, and go down a little further. And then we have Anoki, I. It's we and I. It's a frequency language.
So they've been brought together.
Been brought together. We and I have been brought together for the purpose of treading over death.
Yeah, the Anaknu. So it's a compound word.
Right. And so we can see that even in its own spelling there, that it's ourselves, right?
Right.
And
wow, and look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The covenant of life that is between the two spiritual paths, right? Mother and father.
Risen.
So we have the path of one, the spiritual path of mother, which is the covenant of life that connects us to the spiritual path of father, so that we are connected, so that we can actually connect to other people. Because that's part of it. The Vav on that suffix side, it says we're ready to connect.
It says we are I.
Right.
We are the I. We are the one I. We're from the one source.
So we've connected to oneness.
We've connected to ourselves. And so we as I are we. Right. It's all the same. It's saying the same thing, except it's an extrapolation of frequency of code essence that's showing you, can you see it? Because if you can see it, you can extract it to become it. It's all potentialities in play.
And this is like new flesh too.
Yeah.
This is not fallen flesh. This is a new flesh, risen nature, been made anew.
Anak new.
Right? We've been made anew.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. This is even, yep.
One flesh.
One flesh. And then we have the boost to tread down.
Yeah.
Just so people can see it.
Yeah. So treading down is building through the covenant of love and connecting to that which props us up, hedges us in, supports us as the wedding ring symbology.
That's what treading down is in its definition. And then we can look at this is just right out of what this word Anpu and Anubis is all. This is again, the morphology and the language. Just means the god of death. But we just showed you what death was.
Right, Lemuth.
Lemuth. So it means that he would have been a light bearer.
Exactly.
But his mask said that I'm the jackal, but jackal in Hebrew is not what we think it is. And we're going to go into that. Not this teaching right now, but I want to show what it is so we can take away.
We will get there.
So we can remove the mask. All right.
That's good.
So let's just look at this next word in Nahum 2:4. We're not going to spend much time. I just want to show you because this is who these are. This is based off of Joel's army. And it says that they raged, but look what the word for rage is.
See, okay.
No, hold on. I know my wife goes off on this stuff.
No,
hold on. Before you go. We have many verses we need to show, but when I saw this, I'm like, I need to choose to really define what is Hellel and what is Lucifer and who we are, because this is all about us. And when I saw this verse, it actually angered me a little bit, frustrates me.
That was why I was going to jump up.
but so I had to put it in here because we see these words, when in the streets rage the chariots. But so now again, please hear my heart in this. Don't look at this.
Look as it.
This is you.
That's right.
In the street, shining in the days that are coming.
That's awesome.
This is who you are. And this is the millstone that's been pulled away. The pit has been opened. You have arisen. Arise and shine, for the light comes on the world. And so see this differently. Please hear the frequency in my heart. That my heart is that we see this, that we don't go to rage. This ties right into the scent of the rose, that those haven't become, they will rage. But those that have become, they will shine. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go through this real quick, see if we can get through this. And so in the streets, right? Didn't do a full extraction on this because
that's all right. I mean, there's enough right there. I mean, even without even going in the word, right?
These are built ones.
They've built life.
Right.
They connected at the heart level. They went on the journey.
Yeah.
Not in the material realm, the spirit realm,
and produced
and
love.
hunt and chased, and they connected themselves to unconditional love.
Yep.
Those are the ones that are going to shine.
Very similar to the word above, actually.
Exactly, about the escape.
The escape.
Right.
Very similar.
Yep.
Right. Very, very similar. These ones have built it through separating what is and what is not to become the desire, and the desire is love. Become love.
Become unconditional love.
Right.
So this frequency that they're going to be emitting is completely different. They will be known for their love for one another.
Yeah,
because their frequency is much greater than the lower beast.
Yeah.
And so this is why they wanted to get us off track.
Mm-hmm.
Because rage puts us down in the force side on the consciousness scale.
Yes.
Keeps us completely out of the power side.
Yeah.
And this unconditional love, that's our strength. That's our power.
But look at this morphology here. Yod Tav, Hey, Yod, Lamed, Yod, right? Or Lamed, Vav.
So you've got the power.
Power means indirection.
From mother, because she gives
love,
it to you
right?
from mother's love.
That's the revelation that connects you to the twin light bearers.
Exactly.
No, this is a morphology. This is actually a high degree teaching right here, because these twin lights being over here together, that this is on Father's side now. So this is twins that are showing you an expression of, again, L-ship, of really one light, but in twin measure. This is boxed in between those two vavs.
The two teachings of light that were seamlessly divided.
Right. So these ones are completed ones, because these ones have come back down.
Right.
These ones are love that are coming back down in the power of love, and they are ministering in the streets as lights. As light's frequency. So this is...
And as light's intention.
Well, even in the next word, that we can see that these are the revealed ones. So we're talking about revelation, right? So these are the Merkabah, the chariots that are revealed.
Right.
So it says chariots.
Right, because it's Rekab.
It's Rekab.
And Merkabah, right? But they would be a Merkabah, because the only way that they could have done this, right? The only way that they could have done this is to have the teachings of light. And that is because the Lamed is Lamed Mem Dalet.
Right.
So the teachings of the living waters, Mem,
Yep.
which produce that.
Which this would be the revelation. So now we talk about the book of Revelation. We at the beginning of this teaching, we talked about it's the same word for apocalypse.
Right.
This is the apocalypse right here, revealed. So these are the revealed chariots
that have been uncovered.
That have been uncovered.
Now, one other thing that is something that the language does, I haven't shared this before, but whenever a hey is added to the front side of the word, there's a lamed that has been hidden. This is something that they have done within the Hebrew language, that actually should be hey lamed rakab. But it's a hidden light bearer. So it's the beginning of Hellel.
Right.
So every single time you see a hey on mother's side, it's a hidden light that is meant to be revealed.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that incredible?
Yeah. Well, it's when you start moving into the higher, just the frequency of teaching when it reveals itself. I want to be careful how I say that, but you start realizing that all is all, and so everything has to. If these ones are completed, then we have to have the realization we're best really situated in ourselves by realizing if I'm seeing it as then the realization that hey also is fully encompassing of the full all to the top.
Of course.
And every letter in this word would be because they are the revealed ones and they couldn't be anything less.
Exactly.
And so when you move into this stance of presentation, that you're realizing that the frequency on this is simply broke down as really a rendering to show you what it is without putting down 1,000 pages of reference to say, right?
But because it's shorthand.
It's shorthand.
This whole thing is shorthand.
It's all shorthand. And
this is why it has such a difficult time translating into English.
Right.
Because you take all this information contained in every letter, and then they translate it into one word.
Right. And so the extrapolation is based on the individual summation or the sum total of what you've gathered to produce the skills necessary to extract out the code of essence or the code of intention. Same thing.
So in other words, the fragrance of the scent of the rose.
Right. And so when you see this, yes, we see it differently, and we're just trying to assist. But yeah, so that's advanced teaching when you start talking about what is hidden, and everything that is hidden will be revealed, because this is what it's saying.
Well, because we're in the place of Gileana to uncover that which has been covered
So let's look at this, because we need to get to the verse of why we're here.
Well, and I love the fact that this is Calvary.
Yeah, that's why
we're going to send in the Calvary, which are the light bringers. Hallelujah.
So look at this, because we're going into what. So if you go down a little bit further, so we see the whole verse. So this ties into horse and rider. This ties into the horsemen of the apocalypse, but not that. These are the revealed horsemen. The horsemen are attributable measures that have been accumulated into a summational total. Right. That's a horseman, because the chariot, both the chariot and the horseman, are one. And this goes into a little deeper teaching that I'm going to release after this, but it needs to be set up correctly. But these are, again, frequencies of the horseman. So don't be scared of the horseman, because if you've done your job right, you are the horseman. Right. Right.